Hey guys, it's Kayla. I'm back with another video. Today we're going to be talking about the 20 books I read in November. Didn't end up hitting 20 books in October like I thought I was going to, but we did finally do it in November, and today I'm going to chat about all the books that I read and how I liked them. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, leave any comments down below, and subscribe to my channel if you are new, and let's hop into this video. Book number 1 was the last book in the Forced University series. Lords of Mercy was so good. Really didn't think I was into the bully reverse harems, but this series really convinced me otherwise. Really love Story's character. She's an absolute queen, and I really loved Killian, Dimitri, and Tristan. They're the perfect group. Loved them so much, and this series was so spicy. Last book dragged a little bit at the end plot-wise, but definitely worth it for all the spice you get and all the smut throughout. Next, I was looking for something short and spicy, and I know Tanya always has the best recs ever, so I went and stalked her Goodreads and found the Vegas Nights series. These are 3 short novellas, all focusing on different characters in a friend group, and they are so spicy. Highly recommend this series. I know personally I'm trying to make a better effort about reading books by POC authors and books with POC characters in them, and this is a great series that fits that. I definitely want to go in and read more books by this author because I really enjoyed this series. Next up, we have the Brutal Birthright series by Sophie Lark. I read the first 2 books originally, like close to when they came out in summer of 2020, but then I just stopped reading the series. I don't know why. I don't know, maybe just because I didn't want to read each book solo. I really like reading a series all together. So now that it's all come out and everyone is raving about it, I had to go back. I reread the first 2 books. The first one is Brutal Prince. It focuses on Callum and Ada. They are the best couple ever. I totally forgot how much I absolutely loved their characters, their story. It was so good. And then we had Stolen Heir, which focuses on Miko and Nessa. This might be my least favorite book in the series, but it's really hard to say that because I love them so much. But it took me a little bit longer to get into this one. I was just not as excited about it, but it was still really, really good. Then we have Savage Lover by Sophie Lark. This was the first new book that I read in the series. This book focuses on Nero and Camille. I really liked the reconnection aspect, like they knew each other but they didn't know each other well, and like how they fell in love. It was really, really cute, and I really loved how the story came together. Then I ended up reading book 4 and 5 in one day. I had a day off, so I just binge read the entire day. I filmed a reading vlog that day, so if you haven't seen that, you should definitely go check it out. I just sat and read all day, and it was the best. I think these 2 books were my favorite of the entire series. Book 4 focuses on Dante and Simone, and I really love their story. Normally I don't enjoy books that spend so much time in the past before the present, but I felt like this book, it was really necessary to tell the whole story. It was really, really good, and I just love Dante so much. I was so excited about book 5 because I was waiting to get to Riona's story, and her and Raylan were absolutely perfect. I will say I got a little sad heading into this book because I know we were kind of reaching the end, and in this book things start happening. The siblings kind of start breaking apart, which really just hurts my heart. I really love interconnected series where they focus on different characters in each book, but you still get kind of sneak peeks in the next ones. But this one, they just start kind of fading apart a little bit, so it made me sad, but I did really, really enjoy this book. And I also feel like these books got progressively spicier throughout the series, and this one, there was the barn scene, and that just made my jaw drop. Last but certainly not least in the Brutal Birthright series is Heavy Crown. Seb Gallo has my heart. Him and Helena's story is so cute. I loved it so much, and I was about to fight some people at some point throughout the series because I thought it was all gonna fall apart. But of course there has to be a happily ever after, and I really enjoyed this one. And like I said, it really hurt my heart seeing kind of the Gallo and the Griffin family all kind of go their separate ways throughout the series, especially towards the end of it. But it was so good. I really enjoyed it. I will definitely be diving into the Kingmaker series soon, but I'm postponing a little bit because I know I will be really sad when this whole series and interconnected series is over. So we're gonna wait a little bit for the Next Gen series. I promise I will get to it. I just don't want to be sad when it's over quite yet. Next, I read Our Finest Hour by Jennifer Milliken. I've been really into single parent romances recently, and I saw a quote from this book on TikTok, and I immediately downloaded it and started reading. It was so good. Total warning, it was not very spicy, but I still really enjoyed it, especially after reading Brutal Birthright. I feel like I needed something just a little bit more normal and sweet. I really liked Aubrey and Isaac's story. It was so perfect. I know some people on Goodreads did not like it, but I really liked it, and I don't think TikTok disappointed me with this read. Next, I read The Submissive by Tara Sumi. I read this book as an audiobook. I didn't totally love the audiobook aspect of this one. It took me a little bit to kind of get into the characters and the storyline. I found this book really similar to 50 Shades of Grey, so it didn't super stand out to me, but it was still good. This book does continue on. I think it's a trilogy, but the first one didn't end on a total cliffhanger. I feel like it wrapped up nicely to just finish on the first book. I don't know what plot would continue in the second and third book besides just more drama or miscommunication between the characters, so I didn't continue on with this. I think it probably gets progressively spicier and smuttier in the next two books, but I felt like it wrapped up fine enough in the first book for me to not continue on. But if you really like the 50 Shades vibes, I would definitely give this series a try. Next, I read The Thing About Us by Jennifer Dominico. This is an MMF book. I really enjoyed this one. I really loved the dynamics between the three main characters. Definitely had a little bit of the miscommunication trope going on. I definitely wanted to fight the characters at several points, but I think it was still really good and really worth it. Plus, it was just super spicy, so if you're looking for a good MMF book, this is definitely a good one to pick up. Next up, we have another single parent romance, and that is Just in Time for Christmas by Roxanne Riley. This book is also MMF. I read most of this series. They're just like short little novellas a while ago, so I picked up one of the newer ones in the series that I haven't read yet. I did really enjoy this one. Billy, Asher, and Seth were so cute together. This one's not overly spicy. There's only a few spicy chapters, but it's a good palate cleanser between some longer reads. Next, I read The Love Hypothesis by Hazelwood. I also read this book as an audiobook. I'm normally not a big fan of the cartoon covers, so I decided to read this as an audiobook. I thought it would be a little bit easier for me to get through. And wow, I could not put this book down. Normally, I only listen to audiobooks when I'm at the gym in the morning on the treadmill, but I literally could not stop listening to this one. I ended up listening to like 80% of the book in one day, and I just like kind of sat in bed and listened to it because I could not stop reading. I needed to know what happened. There's definitely mixed opinions on the spice level of this book on Book Talk. I don't think it was that spicy. There was really only like one or two chapters that were pretty spicy, but I did find it really cute and I really enjoyed it for like a cute rom-com book. This book is in third person point of view, which I think was easier to read as an audiobook. I feel like I definitely would have not gotten through it as quickly as a regular book, and we definitely could have used more of Adam's point of view. I did go in and read the one chapter she released in his point of view, but I feel like I really would have enjoyed his point of view more throughout the book because you can definitely tell he's super into her like way before she realizes. Overall, I did really enjoy this book, and I'm going to give some more cartoon book covers a try, even though they're normally not my fave. Next up, we have another reverse harem series, and it is the Four Horsemen series by Sarah Bailey. This was the book series for Fit Teacher Rachel's book club, so the books of the month, and I always try and give those a try. Again, before this month, I really didn't think I was into the bully reverse harems, but this series was so good. The plot was a little slow and I think dragged across the 4 books. It probably could have been done in like 2 to 3 books, but it was so spicy and so smutty that I think it was worth the 4 books. There were so many spicy scenes, things that just made my jaw absolutely drop and I didn't know were possible. It was so good. Dark reverse harem bully romance. I loved it so much. I always really loved the concept of fate in books. It's why I loved the Casanova so much, and I really loved that aspect in this book as well. I wish I could post more quotes from this book on TikTok, but I think TikTok would flag me for just about everything in this book. It is so spicy, but I highly recommend give it a try if you're just looking for like pure smut. This is it. And the last book I read in November is Ignite by Melanie Harlow. This was one of my most anticipated reads for the end of 2021. I love her Cloverleaf Farm series so much, and this is the first book in the Next Gen series. And this book was so good. I really loved the grumpy single dad trope. Like I said, I've just really been loving single parent romances recently, and this was such a good one. Dex was the perfect grumpy single dad firefighter. Loved him so much. And the age gap between him and Winnie and like the parallel to book 1 of Cloverleaf Farms was done so perfectly. And I really just can't wait for the rest of the Next Gen books. I did get a little bit confused at some parts with like the connections and how things were going on, and I had to refer to her like character list a little bit, but it's on her website, super easy to find, so that was definitely helpful when reading the book. I really should go back and read the first Cloverleaf Farm series since it's been a while since I read it originally. It might help me a little bit with remembering how all the characters and connect and like the storyline, because there was definitely a clear parallel between the first one, Irresistible, of Cloverleaf Farms, and this book. I really love this book. It was definitely one of the spiciest small town romances I ever read. The age gap between them, the spiciness, it was all so good. Those are the 20 books I read in November. I'm really proud of myself for actually reading 20 books this month after being so close the last few months, and my goal is to read 20 books again in December. We'll see if it happens. December is definitely going to be a little bit crazy with Christmas and everything, but we're going to try. If you like this video, you should definitely give it a thumbs up and leave me comments down below. That really supports my channel and it helps my channel grow. And of course, if you're new, you should definitely stick around and subscribe, and if you haven't checked out my Book Talk and Bookstagram, you should definitely go follow both of those as well. That's going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed me talking about the 20 books I read in November and how I like them. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in my next one.